Alright guys, so welcome to JVA Carpi Adventures, and this week you're going to join me in France. So I'm at a lake called Lac Des Souvenirs, being joined by a lovely dog down here. So before I start setting up anything, I thought I'm going to show you the swim. Alright, so let me just walk over, I'll flip it around for you guys. Alright guys, so I've gone to swim too. Now this was decided before I already come here, so it used to be that you'd go into a draw when you got here and pick your swim that way, but now they've decided that you can pre-book your swim. So obviously I'd never been here before, so I was speaking to the owner, Nigel, really lovely guy, really helpful, and he advised swim too, and he's actually given me a couple of spots. In fact, while I'm here, why don't I show you? So I can't see it on my small little screen, guys, so I apologise if I'm pointing the wrong way, but there's a tree over here. It's got a fork in it. A metre in front of that is a spot. Over there, there's an overhanging bush. Just past that, there's another spot. And then mid-channel up here, there actually used to be a driveway going up there. So if you go out and you find the weed and then find a big hole in the middle of it, that's another spot. So I'm going to get more into that, guys. But just give you a little look around, and what I do during the week, I'll go over what this place does and doesn't have. One of the things you will see, just walk over to the next swim, is you've got the use of boats here if you want to hire them out, and that's with or without a motor. And a lot of people here fish from a boat. Now, I've never fished from a boat before in my life, so it might be something I try this week, guys. You never know. And obviously they're also there if you need to get snagged up or stuff like that. So safety is important, as it is everywhere else. And talking about safety, guys, one of the other things here is you do not need to bring your nets and slings, as they've got quality gear here. Just going to step into the swim. These are all newly done swims. You can see they look absolutely fantastic. And look at that, couple nets sitting and waiting for me, and a very large sling. So I mean, that is absolutely huge, guys. So I've been advised that, swing it back round to me, been advised for the spots I'm fishing, because there's a bay behind me this way, that way, there's a bay and it goes that way, I want to be on the rods really quick. So I've got a massive berry, guys. I've got the 2-man with me this week. So I'm going to set it up, but have it fairly close. So if I need to get out quickly, I can. Fish safety, as always, is paramount. So, show you the old fishmobile. So I'm literally right next to my swim, and there's a little bit of hard standing area just here. So I'm going to offload there. And Nigel said I'm good to park just there. So no distance to the van at all. I mean, it's really cushy, guys. And en route here, Nigel emailed me to say there's no one else down the whole of this bank at the minute, guys. There's only 2 guys on the opposite bank. So this is, I think it's 10 or 12 acres in size, and it's absolutely beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Right, enough of me talking. Roll that little intro, and then I'm going to get on with unpacking. Alright guys, so just thought I'd show you this. Now, there's quite a lot of quite high weed right in front of me. I'm not certain if you can see all that, but right in front of me, there's quite a lot of high weed. Now, if you know me and my fishing, you know I like to backlead. So I mentioned this to Nigel here, who's the fishery owner, and he straight away said, oh, no, if you want to rake it, feel free. There's a rake over to the left of you, feel free to rake it, or we can get out in the boat and do it. So he's given me full permission just to rake a nice area in front of my rods that I can drop those back loads on. Obviously it'll free up a load of naturals and stuff like that, so I might have them coming in close, but absolutely fantastic here, guys. So I'm going to crack on and do that. Might film a couple of minutes worth of it. Probably hear me sweating actually doing some physical work for change, guys. Also, if you would have watched my vlogs, you would have seen me doing the same thing at Sand Martin Lake at Bluebell Lakes, because I do like to clear a bit of room. Alright guys, just thought I'd show you quickly what's going out on what. So I'm going to be starting with Monster Baits Plum Ice bottom baits, 15mm, 18mm, both topped with a bit of corn. One's going out with a little mesh bag, and then the last is Monster Baits Plum Ice but in yellow wafter. I'm going to put some boilies out with that. I'm going to put a little bit of corn out with all of them. Now, I'm not set up or anything, guys. I've literally put the rod stands in. I've walked my line out for about 50 meters to try and get it out. As you can see, nothing is set up whatsoever, but I want to get the rods out, don't I? So I'm going to get the rods out. Now, I'm not going to be full on investigate massively with the camera and all of that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put the deeper on, go out to the spots that Nigel here has mentioned to me, see if I can find them and drop a rig on it along with a bit of corn. That's it. Then I'm going to get set up, guys. So I'm just kind of relaxing today, if I'm honest. I'm not rushing. I'm going to take my time. I will get the rods out now. Like I said, it's 2:44, so I'm going to get the rods out now. Won't take me that long, and then literally get the house set up, get all set up. Now, the one thing I will say is I'm going to be doing snag fishing for the best part of it, guys. So I'm going to be literally right on top of the rods. So I am going to have them literally as you walk out my bivvy door. I'm going to be on top of them rods. So most of it's going to be mostly locked up, and then obviously walking them back out of the snags, getting them into open water, and then hopefully getting a fish or two. Fingers crossed. Afternoon, guys. I promise I'm not going to give you this many updates every single day. So it's 3:30 and I finally got the rods out. So yeah, happy days. Time to get everything else set up. Now I am fishing to two snaggy areas. That's the right hand rod and the middle rod. So I have got the butt rings right up against the alarms, and I have got the clutches really tight. So as advised by Nigel here, I do need to get the bivvy quite close, and we're going to be fishing to the snags. Sounds promising, guys. I've got to be honest, I am really looking forward to it. And like I said, I've actually got the whole of this bank to myself at the minute. Absolutely crazy. It's beautiful here as well. Lovely, happy days. Right, I'm going to go get the house set up. Speak to you guys later. Hi guys, so I keep saying I'm not going to give you loads of updates every day, and I'm not. But obviously my first day here, so I've got myself set up. I'm in swim 2, if I haven't said it already. And actually I don't have anyone else on this bank at all. The nearest guys are literally on the opposite side of the lake, which is a 12-acre lake. So they're a fair, probably, I don't know, 220 metres to the other side. So a fair bit of distance over the other side. I did get my rods out like within a couple of hours of being here, basically. Didn't do anything other than put the deeper out, go to spots that I've been advised should be good for bite. Set them up on the ND app, so I'll show you the spots now, A, B and C. And basically put out monster baits on all of them actually. So plum ice topped with corn on 2 of them, 14 and 18 I think. And then a yellow plum ice wafter on 1 of them. Now, I will say I have obviously been watching the water, and I do think that there's something going across in front of me, because I've seen, I wasn't quite certain if it was like cormorant or a duck or whatever, but I've been following it a bit, and I think there's definitely a band of fish going across my swim in front of me, literally directly in front. I mean, they've gone that way, but literally directly in front of me. No distance at all, really. You know, probably about between 6 and 8 wraps. No distance at all. So I'm happy with how they are today, because I used the deeper to find them. So I'm going to leave them that way for tonight, guys, and see what happens. It is meant to be raining probably about midnight, so I may have to have the door up, depends how bad the rain is. But I'm not going to do much else, I'll be honest. I was up at 2:30, driving at 3 o'clock to Dover, and then getting the 6:15 ferry over, and then a little bit of a drive here, and I stopped on the way to go to Aldi to get some milk and meat and that sort of stuff, so I've got supplies for the week. So I think I'm going to have a relaxing night tonight, guys. Obviously, if you look at my face, it probably looks like I've got a bit of sun as well, which is probably, it's been quite sunny today. There is like a nice cool breeze, so it is really nice. The setting is really nice. The old fishmobile got battered going up some dirt track, though, I've got to be honest. It scrapes down the side of it and everything. Very, very bad. Very bad. And that's not down to the lake, to be fair. He did give me instructions to come in a different road, and unfortunately I came in, because I went to Aldi, I didn't come in the side that he advised me to come in, so I kind of followed the sat-nav and got caught on a really bad road. So if you ever come here, guys, don't turn down a road unless it's like a gravelly type, or, you know, sort of a road that looks like a road rather than a mud pit, because yeah, at one point I had a branch scraping across the top of my roof. I was not happy, but I couldn't reverse on that road. I'd already gone down there about half a mile, so I had to continue. So that's my first evening update, guys. I'm here in France at Lac Des Souvenirs. I've met Nigel, the fishery owner, lovely guy. He's allowed me to rake out the front of the swim, which meant I can put back leads on. He's given me 3 spots to go to, or 2 spots actually. He's given me 2 spots to go to, and the third I've just kind of gone using deeper and found a little bit of a higher shelf, so sort of 6'9" up to 5'6". So I thought, bit of a raised spot there, that'll do me. So I've put that on. All of them have gone out with a bit of corn tonight, not much, but a bit. So I'm kind of fishing for a bite initially, guys, and we're going to see how that goes. So I had myself my evening coffee. I'm going to let that go down for a bit, and then I think make myself a burger, and then just enjoy the evening, guys. To be fair, it is really nice here. You know, it'd be nicer for me if I had either Matt or Connor with me, because it's good to be with your mates when you're in France. But I'm also a bit of a loner, guys, so I like my own company. So I'm all right. I'm happy with this. Really looking forward to it. Really excited. Now, sorry, I am going on a bit. There is one more thing that I have to tell you about this lake and this week. So there's a sturgeon in here that's not been out for 11 years. Nobody's been able to catch it. So to me, that's like red flag to a bull. I've got to try and catch this sturgeon. So from tomorrow, I'm going to get one of my catfish rods out, put out a catfish rig with some catfish bait, and I'm probably going to save that spot, and I'm probably going to keep going to that spot and hope that the sturgeon visits at some point during the week. Now, I was just going to do it during the daytime, guys, because I know a sturgeon will probably take everyone out, but it's looking like there's not really loads of people here. And Rod, Steve and Martin at Mousehole all made me kind of promise that I'd do it 24 hours a day, so I'm going to have to put the rods out tomorrow. I haven't done it today only because there's a lot of stuff to get when you first get set up here and all, so I thought I'll leave it to tomorrow. I'll definitely lock in 2 spots that I can put 2 rods on, and then I'll lock in a third. But I have been watching the water, and I've got to be honest, I'm pretty certain there's a spot in front of me between like 6 and 8 wraps. I'm really certain of it. So it might be that I put catfish rod on that, drop a load of halibut pellets, let it get all stinky, and hope that the sturgeon comes in and gets it. I don't know whether I said, but if you can catch this sturgeon and get a picture of it, you get a week's free fishing here. I've got to try and do that, guys. I mean, it would be a fish of a lifetime for me. So I know it will mean I catch less carp because I'm doing 2 rods instead of 3, but a fish of a lifetime. When am I going to have the opportunity to do that? So I've got to go for it. So from tomorrow, not today, so it's Saturday today, from Sunday for the rest of the week I'm here, I'm going to have one rod set up just for the catfish. Really looking for the catfish, sorry, just for the sturgeon. Really looking forward to that. Alright guys, I'm going to clock off, I'm going to relax. I'm probably going to sit outside and enjoy the sun a bit, and yeah, be pleased that I'm in France. Happy days. Thanks for watching guys, I really do appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. Morning guys, so going to give you your Sunday morning update, and as you can maybe hear, it's absolutely chucking it out down outside. So it has been raining through the night, has been raining for most of this morning, so I knew this, so I'm in my waterproofs, as you can probably see. Might swing it round. So I'm in my waterproofs guys, so I'm not bothered about the rain, to be fair. Let me just unlock it a little bit, take it off of 2 zoom. Right, there we go. So I'm not worried about the rain. So whilst it's been raining, I decided to set up my underwater camera, so that's the Fusion by Stealth Cam UK. And I've got something exciting to show you today. Actually, I've got 2 exciting things to show you today. The first thing I'm very proud of, because I actually 3D printed, designed and 3D printed it myself. So that's actually a holder for the monitor for the Fusion, but I'm going to be using my digital SLR to record the footage. The small little camera that you're watching me on now, because it's fixed focus, it's not very good for, I thought it was going to be good, but it's not very good for using it. My digital SLR is much better, so I want to try and get you the best underwater footage as possible. So I'm going to kind of show you my setup, because it's like tripods all over the place at the minute, and I've been pretty busy in here this morning. So first thing I'm going to show you the thing I'm really proud of, so let's just swing the camera around again. Here we've got this little thing. Now, it's just a housing. You will see the JVA Carpi Adventures there, and all it essentially does is house my digital SLR, but also it houses one of the monitors you get with a Fusion. So this is just basically to block out all of the sun, stop the glare, and give a really good picture of what I'm looking at. Now, I'm very fortunate that Steve from Stealth Cam UK sent me a second monitor, so I will actually be watching on this setup. So I'll have my deeper on that one, the sonar on this one. Obviously you can see there's nice holders there, and then we come to the bait boat itself. Now the bait boat is going to look a little rammed today, because I'm happy to introduce, thanks to Steve, that there is now a dual vortex option. So as you'll see, I've also got the camera on there as well. Sorry guys, I'm just doing it all by hand. So I've actually got 3 items on there, and that's the remote telling me that I've turned it all off. So let me turn my remote off. So you've actually got 2 vortexes, so a dual vortex. You've got the Fusion winch cam. I've also got the one right at the front, if you're going to see it there somewhere. Sorry, I can't really see it myself at the minute because of the way I'm positioned. There you go. So I've got the front cam as well. So I've got all singing, all dancing, and I'm going to be trialing that today. I haven't used it yet, guys. Excuse me, my voice is going. I haven't used it yet. I'm going to wait for it to stop raining, bring the rods in, investigate the areas where I was yesterday, and then hopefully put a good spread of bait out and catch some of these carp. Oh look, it's looking like it's going to stop raining. It did say it's meant to stop raining about 10 o'clock, so that'd be a good time for me to bring my rods in, have a comfort break, get things sorted. Now, with regards to an update from yesterday, I got set up, got the rods out, changed one of the rods because there are these shoals of fish in here. I don't know, you probably won't catch them on the camera if I'm honest. I'll try and zoom out to them and see if you will catch them. There's currently one over there and one literally directly in front of me. Now they've been going around quite a lot. Oh, there you go. You see a splash just happen there. So there's shoals of fish, definitely. And I always kind of think wherever they are, carp like to come in and investigate. So, I mean, that one over there is really going off at the minute. So I always think they like to investigate. So I did move my left-hand rod last night. So I did move that one and I moved it out in front of me. I didn't get anything. Now, about 1 o'clock, I thought I had a take on the right-hand rod, which is over to the right margin. And in fact, I've got 2 rods over to the right margin. but it was just a bad liner. I've got a slip D rig on, so when I reel it in I can see if I've been done or not, and I hadn't been picked up. So yeah, so I just literally cast that out last night in the direction of the same where I was fishing, and interestingly enough I must have found a clear spot because it didn't come back with any weed or anything today. It is fairly weedy in places, particularly in front of me and all, but yeah, fingers crossed. Look, looks like we might even be getting a bit of sun coming out, guys. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just so I don't have to be in these waterproofs all day because it's quite hot. Bedlam in here, guys. Cameras, tripods all over the place. Let's go back out from 2 times to 1 times. So I've got myself set up, waiting for the rain to stop. Going to bring the rods in, have a comfort break, investigate those areas, resave them on the ND, and then hopefully get some carp. Alright guys, just thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight as to what I'm doing today. It's Sunday. So I've got the bait boat out and I'm going to be using the Fusion winch cam along with a deeper to find some spots. I have just found one, although it's not really one that I found, it's one that Nigel told me about yesterday. So he's told me about a couple, well a few now actually, he's told me about a few. So I'm going to be doing some investigations today. One of them, funny enough, over in that direction, we'll go to it in a minute. I've just seen some bubbles coming up, so that one's definitely getting looked at for sure. So I'm going to basically go along that far margin that you can see and hopefully see if I can see any fish, or at least find some good clear spots. So I'll leave the camera running for a bit, guys. If there's anything interesting, we'll be sure to capture it. Obviously the beauty of the front cam, you can get into snags and stuff like that, guys, which really is helpful when the boat's some distance away from you. Really, really is. So essentially when I'm driving around here, I am looking for spots on the deeper first before lowering the camera. So I'm interested in this area, so I'm just going to switch back to the bottom cam and lower it. Yeah, I did think there was going to be a clear spot there. Look at that, guys. That's an absolutely beautiful, clear, polished spot. That's a very nice spot actually. Still got to get out yet. So about here we are saying is meant to be a really good spot. Let's put the camera down, it's meant to be clear. I wouldn't exactly class that as clear. And I think I am in the right spot. I might have gone in too close. Switch back to that front cam. See if there's anywhere I can go. Go forward just a little bit there, I think. That would be underneath that branch. Right, so about here. Oh, looks very snaggy, doesn't it, guys? Right, let's switch to the boat. Oh no, I'm not dropping it in there. I've got a feeling I'm too close. So I'm going to back it out a bit so I don't get caught in there myself. Alright, now let's try maybe here and have a look. Oh okay, that's a bit more of a clearer spot there. So some sort of clear spots, guys, but I'm not certain I'm happy. I mean that would be alright. So that's obviously been cleared. If I could drop it dead bang in there, but I'm right, looking at the boat from here, I'm right in. Hi guys, so it's about 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, so technically my day 2 if you like, and got a couple updates for you. Firstly, I cooked myself a lovely butter chicken curry tonight. I'll show you a little clip of it here. There you have it, guys. Lovely butter chicken curry and rice on the bank. Ah, was very nice, guys, I've got to be honest. I did have one of those steak hache burgers last night, and I'll be honest, I weren't very impressed with it. And I bought 4 of them, so not sure if I'm going to actually eat them. I'll try another one, maybe add some salt to it or something, see if I can flavour it up or burn it and crisp it, make it better, but otherwise I weren't overly keen on it. So chicken curry for tonight was absolutely lovely. And the second one is, I've actually had my first fish. So about 5 p.m, a middle rod went off, which was on monster bait, plum ice bottom bait topped with corn topper. So over towards trees, and I probably done myself wrong yesterday, guys. Spoke to a really lovely guy today who gave me some advice with regards to fishing here, and saying, look, you'd be better off not dropping your bait from the bait boat. If it's anywhere where you can go and hand throw it in or spread it about, then you'd be better off. Well, lo and behold, today I went to one of the spots I was at yesterday, found another one earlier on the bait boat, and with the Fusion winch cam, and decided to go to that. But instead of dropping bait over it, I decided to use the Vortex by Stealth Cam UK and do a spreader bait. Sure enough, about 3 hours later, the rod's gone off. So happy days. Anyway, let me stop waffling. Let me play the footage of this lovely 22 pound 6 ounce common, which the owners didn't recognise, so they don't believe it's been out before. Mouth was really clean, and it was a beautiful fish. The dark colours on it were absolutely fantastic, guys. So really chuffed with this one. So let's show you that now. All right, guys. Well, let's get this little beauty up. 22 pound 6. Colours of it are amazing, though, guys. Really beautiful colours. Absolutely lovely. All right, mate. You can calm down. Here we go, guys. Look at that absolute beauty. Absolute lovely. Look at that. My first fish, 22 pound 6. Alright guys, so just going to be putting back my first fish from Lac Des Souvenirs. It's a 22 pound 6 common. The colours are beautiful. Clearly not going to wait around. There she goes, look at that beauty. Happy days. Alright guys, well, as you can see, it was a lovely fish. Really pleased just to be off the mark. You never know when you go somewhere, you know, how it's going to be fishing and all the rest of it. So I'm going into my second evening with a bit more confidence. The other thing that I will say is tomorrow the guys on the opposite bank are going to be leaving, so it may be the case that I have the whole lake to myself tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But so I might be trying some new tactics. I've never used a boat for my fishing. I've used my bait boat, but never an actual boat. So I might actually be going out in a boat and experience something new. So if I do, I might film it from the bank just in case I fall in or something like that. It's quite possible with me, guys, so it could be a bit of fun there. So that's it for this evening's update. I'm going to try and not give you like a million updates all during the day, because it'll probably get boring, and what I'll probably do is just give you an evening update and let you know what's gone on during the day. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully speak to you tomorrow. Morning, guys. So number 2 for me again on monster baits. This time another common, this time 25 pounds, so they're going up. Let's get her up for you. Again, they all seem to be pretty pristine here, guys, I've got to be honest. Lovely condition, but I seem to be getting the ones like me, short and fat. She's quite fat, just like me. There you go, guys. 25 pound, beautiful, another common. Alright guys, so number 2 about to be released. Came in at 25 pound. We will rest it if she wants. Yeah, she's gonna have a little rest, bless her. Look at that absolute beauty, guys. Very welcome, very nice. And as you see, the water here is absolutely gorgeous. There she goes. Happy days, no rush. Ah, thank you for the visit. Morning, guys. So it's about 9 o'clock, Easter Monday morning. Happy Easter, everyone. Hope you're all having a good time. And I have actually got something to report. I was going to do like one time report at the end of the day, but there's a couple of things I want to cover off today, so I thought I would. So here we go. This morning I did have fish number 2, and it was a lovely £25 common, again on Monster Baits, this time Beast 18mm hard hooker topped with corn. I've been topping all my baits with corn, guys, because I'm putting out corn as my main feed. So I thought I'd kind of show you where both fish have come from, or tried to anyway. Fortunately my eyesight is not that great, guys, so and I'm looking on a tiny little screen. I just decided probably a good idea if I zoom in. So over towards the far margin, I'll be honest, all of this far margin, there are spots all the way along there where you can fish, no problem whatsoever. You will find clearer spots in amongst sort of weed and all the rest, and basically mine's been coming from over there, both on the same spot, and happy days. Now there is another little tree over here, a little freeway branch tree, and that is where I've been told it's a definite spot. But I'll be honest, guys, I'm going to let you know straight up front. I think the first night I went over with a load of corn dropped from the hopper, and I've been told yesterday, yeah, they tend to shy away from when they get a big clump of bait dropped from a hopper. It's better that you hand feed it either from the rowing boat here that they have here, or you know, like I did yesterday on that second spot using the vortex spreader. I'm going to find another spot. I'm going to check that spot out today on the camera, see how it is. If it's still been untouched, then I'm going to come off that spot. That spot over there that's producing, I'm obviously going to stay on it. I know there is another spot over there, so I'm probably going to go and investigate that. I'm going to need to use the front cam today because it's right in a snaggy area and it's really hard to get to, and you're kind of going to go behind the trees. So I've been told about it, advised about it. I think I can get in there with a bait boat, so I'm going over there today. The other interesting news is there are guys on the other bank. They're leaving today, but he's literally just this minute had a 52 pounder. So Nigel, the owner's gone over there to take some pictures and see it and all the rest. But also where I am, guys, I will just walk up a little bit. I've actually got all this bank to myself. There's nobody here. The old fishmobile is here. Nigel's little bit is there. Behind the fishmobile you've got toilets and a shower unit. So I'm going to be going and getting freshened up very shortly. But there's also a channel down there, guys, and the fish are down there, but it's a case of I wouldn't be able to fish down there because it'd be a struggle when they go down into the bay. So I think I'm happy enough where I am. I'm maybe going to change one of the spots. I know it's probably better to stay where you are for the whole week, but if you're on top of bait and they don't like the look of it and they're not going to polish it off, then there's no point. So I'm probably going to come off of that one spot, which is known to be a really good spot, but I'm going to come off of it. I'm going to find another spot, and fingers crossed. Right, that's your little morning update, guys. All right, guys, so I'm going to rest my swim for a little bit. Just had a lovely hot shower, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a tour of the facilities. So I'm over on the North Bank on swim 2. They've got a lovely couple of dogs here. They're very friendly. So if you worry about dogs, you don't need to worry about these guys. They're lovely. There's the old fishmobile, very nice and close. And he lets you park it closer when you're loading and offloading, which is quite handy. And then we have a little toilet and shower block, which is where I was earlier. And I've got to say, piping hot water, guys. So really very nice. So you have a single toilet there and the toilet and shower in here. Now there's a light switch on the wall. Nice facilities. Obviously there's a mirror. Cool. Didn't even look at that earlier. And you've got a lovely hot shower there, guys. Really piping hot water. Very nice little place to have a raised foot. So very nice, guys. Turn the light back off. And then I believe there's a kitchen area which I haven't been into because obviously I'll cook everything myself. So, but let's go and have a look while we're having a little look around. Why not have a little look? I should have grabbed my glasses actually. I could have taken a walk down to some of the other swims. So I know they are doing some work in the kitchen. So you've got fridges and freezers out here that you're welcome to use. And I believe they're doing some work in the kitchen at the minute, actually. Yep, they are. Look at that. Probably a bit dark for you, but it's a lovely kitchen area. Like I said, the fridges and freezer are all out here getting cleaned at the minute. So, happy days. Oh, nice little poster on the wall there with the rules on. That's it, roughly the middle of the lake. Also, one of the other things, guys, is they do allow you to hire their boats here, either with or without a motor. And I've never done any boat fishing, I've got to be honest. I've never been out on a boat for carp fishing. But they look very stable and they look like they'd probably be worthwhile. So that might be something I'll give a go, guys. But just give you a little bit of a view of the whole lake, how lovely it is. So what are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swims over here. I know the guy I spoke to yesterday said his favourite swim was number 6. And that I think if you walk around, there's an area where there's generally always holding carp. But it's very, very snaggy. So as you can see, the swims are absolutely huge, guys. Really are big. I mean, that's huge in all directions. And actually between 6 and 5, there's a little walkway here, so it'd be really good for a social with your mate if you're in 5 and 6 here. And obviously you've got all that in front of you and all these margins down here. Evening, guys. So it's Easter Monday and thought I'd better give you a bit of an update. Coming up to, oh no, it's actually 6:30. So obviously you would have already seen I had that one early this morning, another common, £20-ish. And since then, I've actually had another 2, all off the same spot, all around the £20 mark, all commons. And those 2 I've lost literally at the net. So the first one I did actually have the net in the water, I was ready to net it, and they seemed to be kiting right towards my other rods and into weed. So I try and stop it from going right and into the weed, and the hook comes out. And it's literally the exact same thing's happened twice. So I've had 2 and I've lost 2. So tomorrow there's a load of weeds still in front of me now. I weeded off to the right because that's where I was putting my rods. But I need to rake out in front of me as well and get rid of that weed. Clearly one spot is rocking way more than the other 2, which is surprising because they both look like pretty good spots. They all sort of similarly look cleaned out. So I do expect that I should get some more fish, but it still means, you know, for probably less than a couple of days I've had 4 bites, which is pretty good because I spoke to the guys that are over in the other bank today. They sort of came over when they were leaving and brought the boat over, and I think one of them only had 1 fish and lost 2. The other guy, I think he had 7, including the 52 pounder, which was absolutely amazing, so that's well done to him. So I'm sure I'm probably going okay, but no one likes losing fish, so I need to rake out in front of me. Nothing wrong with the hooks, they're proper sharp, the micro barbed, so they're going in, and I've actually had to use forceps on the 2 that I've landed. I have been dropping leads because obviously it's weedy. Between, you know, I'll let you know what the fight's like here, guys, actually. So between here and my spot, just as they come off my spot, they're straight into the weed, and it's literally, you've got to lock it up, and there's a bank here. I might end up walking backwards up the bank slowly to drive them through the weed. And that's literally about a third of the lake between me and my spot. So you've got a lot of weed to get them through, and no doubt that's probably where, you know, the hook is maybe getting dislodged and all that sort of thing. So every fish I've had has been a really hard fight to get them to where the net is. Now the only thing I didn't do on the last 2, if I'm honest, is slacken off the clutch because they were still quite feisty, and there's lots of weed right in front of me, and I didn't want them going into the weed and my rods. But yeah, you know, when you reflect back on it, you think I could have slackened off the clutch a bit then, but maybe let them run a bit more out there. The only problem is when you let them run out there, they just go straight into weed, like straight away. I'd done it earlier, and it just went straight into weed, and I'm like, okay, tighten it back up, walk back up the bank to try and get it through the weed, and they're just doing it. So yeah, I guess I probably am trying to bully them in a bit, because there's so much weed here. If you let them run, they're just straight into another bed of weed, and I've gone through about 3 different beds of weed with one of them today. But that's your Easter Monday update, I should say. That's your Easter Monday update. Now tomorrow I think is going to be an interesting one, guys. When I pull the rods in the morning, I'm probably going to go out in the boat. So they have boats here you can hire that are motorised, to give you a life jacket and all. So I said to Nigel today, look, you know, I'd really like to go out in one of the boats tomorrow. If I can hire it, that'd be great. Nigel, being a lovely guy, said, no, look, first time, my compliments, you go out in it tomorrow, have a look around the lake, see what you fancy and all the rest. He said, you know, if you see fish and they spook off, just stay still, turn the motor off, and you'll find they will come back on. So I'm hopefully going to get out in the boat tomorrow. First time I've ever done carp fishing from a boat, so I'm going to get out in it tomorrow and have a look around this beautiful lake. Like I said, there's only me on the lake now. This is an 11 swim, like 10 or 12 acre lake, and there's only me on it. So crazy. It also means that the minute from now on till Saturday, my bait's going to be the only bait going in. So I do hope the bigger fish move on me, I've got to be honest, because at the minute it does seem like everything I've had has been around the 20 pound mark. I haven't got into anything bigger yet, so fingers crossed that can happen. So that's your Easter Monday update. Sadly it's 2 in the net, 2 not in the net. Let's see if we can better those odds for the rest of the week. Morning all. So it's about 7:30 Tuesday morning, and I don't know if I've already said or not in last night's update, but actually I may have done. If I have, I'll edit it out. So I actually had another take last night, which was a bit more full of dramas. So had a take off the same spot, so that would have been fish number 5 off the same spot, and then snagged me up instantly. I knew it was around a branch or something. There wasn't any give, there wasn't any movement, so I knew I had to go out in the boat to retrieve it. So Nigel helped me set a boat up, went out in the boat, and it was wrapped around a massive branch right in my area, which is a bit gutting. Probably should have tried and take it out, but if I'm absolutely honest, guys, I wasn't totally steady in the boat. I managed it, but I was wet, you know, my shoes got wet and all that sort of thing, so it wasn't absolutely brilliant. So this morning decided to open up about 6:10, about 6:20. Oh, also the boat had kind of come across my swim, so had I got any fish, I wouldn't have anywhere to land them. So I decided to open up, move the boat over. Literally within 5 minutes of doing that, the middle rod went off again, and I ended up having a lovely 20 pound 4 ounce mirror. Now before I show you that, guys, I'm going to let you know, so everything I've had so far has like been in the 20 pound range. I absolutely guarantee you, before seeing them, I'd swear I've got 30 pound plus on the line. Every single one fights like stinking here. They give you a really hard battle. I mean, it's hard anyway, because the minute you come off the spot I'm picking them up on, it's straight into weed, and then you've got like a third of the lake full of weed, where basically I'm walking up the bank slowly with a rod under tension all the time to try and drive them through that weed, and then you eventually get them through the weed, and then, you know, slacken the clutch off a little bit to try and let them tire themselves out, but then they go into another weed bed. You do literally have to bully them. Sounds like something absolutely huge erupted over there. You do literally have to bully them all the way in, which means they're still really feisty on the bank. So getting photos and all is pretty tricky, but you can do it. It's just pretty tricky. So anyway, let's show you that footage. Morning, guys. So about 6:30 Tuesday morning, I had my third fish. This time it's a mirror at 20 pound and 4 ounce. Let's get her out and show you. No doubt she's going to be a little bit feisty. Absolutely beautiful dark colours, lovely looking fish. Did think she was going to be a tad feisty. There you go, guys. 20 pound and 4 ounce. Fish number 3. Happy days. Okay guys, so just about to put back fish number 3, which is a lovely mirror of 20 pound and 4 ounce. Tell you what, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get into something big. because all of these have been an absolutely beast of a fight. Seriously, I ain't joking, all of them have fought like stink. Been really, really tough going. There she goes. Thank you for the visit and the wake-up call. Alright guys, well, as you can see, that was a lovely start to my Tuesday morning. You do get confused with the days. So a lovely start to my Tuesday morning. I'm just about to have a coffee, because obviously I've been busy putting the rod out and all the rest and setting everything back up. But yeah, happy days. I am a little bit red because it's hard work. I've got to be honest guys. Getting them fish through all that weed and all, it's definitely hard work. Morning guys. So Tuesday morning, about 10:45. Just been speaking to Nigel, the owner. And obviously I've got one spot out of 3 rocking and I've had 5 takes off of it, landed 3 fish. Sorry, I've had 6 takes off of it, landed 3 fish. But the average weight has all been in the 20 poundish. Now, like I said, they fight like they're 30 odd pound if I'm honest, but could do with getting amongst some bigger fish. So Nigel's advice would, they will move on to that spot, but there are other places in the lake where you can practically guarantee yourself a 40. So I'm going to take the boat out, have a look at these other spots, and then very, very likely that I move. So I am in swim 3 and I'm going to, might as well show you where I'm likely to move to, which is actually the opposite side of the lake. So it's good for the vlog guys, you're going to get to see 2 halves of the same lake, and I'm going to get to fish 2 halves of the same lake. It's not very often you get an opportunity where you've got the lake to yourself, which is what I've got here. So it'd be silly not to put a little bit of effort in, pack it all up, move over there where there's no one, and get fishing over into the corner. So I'm going to show you, this camera won't get over to there guys, but it will give you an idea of where I'm going. Let's get out of the bivvy. So, alright guys, sorry, Nigel just wanted to give me some more advice. He's such a nice guy, I can't say how nice he is guys. He sorted me out a few buckets of maize. He said, look, while you're over there, you might as well feed your spots. You're definitely going to be fishing over there, it's lovely. So I'm going to show you, I think I can zoom in probably a little bit more. So let's just zoom in here. So I am literally going all the way over to that far bank and that end swim. That's pretty much a triple swim over there guys. I think that's like 9, 10, 11 sort of thing. So I'm going over there and I'm going to be fishing into the bay. Obviously I've got a tree in front of me so you won't see it, but I'm going to be fishing over into this area here, which is really a two-person area swim. In fact, let me just move a little bit guys, give you a little bit of a better view. Get this tree out of my way. So he's loaded up a boat down here with stuff for me, and I'm going to literally be going into that corner over there, fishing from this bay over here. So let's get a fresh battery in this camera. We'll take it out with me. Hopefully I won't fall in. Luckily the camera is waterproof, so if I do, the camera will be alright. Yeah, let's go and have a look, and then I'll be packing down all of this lot and moving over there. Cannot say how nice Nigel is here guys. Gives you all the best advice. Whatever you need, he's happy to help. Really, really great guy. Alright guys, well, this is going to be my first proper time out in a boat. Nigel set all this up for me. Look at that, he's given me 3 big buckets of maize and all that he said I'm welcome to put out. I mean, you get treated so well here guys. Seriously, the guy's so cool. Now I'm tempted to film the first bit, because if I'm going to fall over, it's probably going to be on the first bit if I'm honest. Actually, I want to go look at that spot, the very first spot that he told me, which is this crippled tree that you could probably see in front of me guys. So I might put the camera down there. Oh no, there's 2 clear spots there. I don't know if you can see that there guys, but there's 2 absolutely massive clear spots here. So definitely want to be fishing there. I think I'll put the underwater camera on and just get some footage of that and then fill them in. Alright guys, so I have just found another spot. So let's give you a little look on the camera. guys, well, this is crazy. First time for me ever being out in a boat. I'm slowly getting used to it. I haven't fallen in, sorry. You know, it still might happen though. I haven't got out of the boat yet, so it still could happen. So, I mean, I'll give you a little pan around, guys. I'm literally, you know, close to being in the middle of the lake. Give you a little pan around. I don't want to go too quick because this place is beautiful, and how can you add and leave it? I've got the place to myself. It's just me at Lac Des Souvenirs. I mean, how does old JVA Carpy Adventures get that lucky, eh? So, obviously, as you can probably tell, I'm pretty buzzed at the minute, guys. I'm using the boat for the very first time. I've just found 3 clear spots in that bay, which means I have to move. There's no doubt about it. I'm moving over here this afternoon, 100%. The owner, Nigel's given me 3 buckets full of maize. I've dumped them over there. I've left a little bit left because he has said there's an old roadway that used to go through like the middle of this lake, and it's a spot. Now, he did tell me it's 14.5 wraps out from the bank, so I'll wrap up later and find it. But I thought, if I could find it whilst I'm out in the boat, then I can drop the remainder of the maize on it and I've got a spot. He's given me a line as well. He sort of said between the corner of this one where the boat is and that one, there's a spot. So I'm going to go hunting for that. If I find it, I'll show you on camera. Alright guys, well, I am back on terra firma, and obviously I absolutely loved it. Nigel, an absolute angel, for letting me go out on a boat and obviously give me all that maize to put out on the 3 spots. In fact, actually the 4 spots, because we also found that one where the roadway was through. I am out of breath, guys. So, my fan's in the background, my bivvy's in the background. I'm packing it all down, guys. It's all going to go. First off though, I'm going to rinse my camera under some clean water because it's been in the lake. Hi guys, so whilst I'm editing it, I have been mindful of the time, and I think now's a good time to call a break in the France vlog and class it as part 1. So part 1 is obviously me on the north side of the lake. I've just found some spots over the opposite side of the lake, and part 2 will see me moving over along with some drone footage of the lake and the remainder of the vlog. So if you've managed to stay to the end, to this part, thank you very much. If you're not one of my subscribers, please hit that subscribe button, guys. Helps me out immensely. If you've enjoyed the first part of my France vlog, give it those thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of future posts, including the second part of this, hit that bell icon. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay fishing.